Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
I can't tell you when's the last time I got so serious about something like this Slapshot remake discussion. And we've had some really good ones coming in here. Jeff in Winnipeg, Camilla says the Baldwin brothers for the Hansons. Wayne in Victoria agrees with my Zach Galifianakis as Denis Lemieux. Denis Lemieux, continuant sa saison. Who would be Dickie Dunn? I feel like Elliot Friedman should play Dickie Dunn. But I think that Billy Bob Thornton is a slam dunk as Reg Dunlop, because this is a very, very important role. This would be the role that might define Billy Bob Thornton's career.
It's the role.
It's the role. And I will go along with Billy Bob Thornton as Reg Dunlop. That's how big of a fan I am of his and of Reg Dunlop's, and nobody has come close to anybody else.
Somebody mentioned Steve Carell. Steve Carell maybe is Jim Carr.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
He could be Jim Carr. That works for me.
No. The guy whose idea this was in the first place, Robin Wildy, he's watching in PA. He says Liam Neeson as Joe McGrath. Liam Neeson's way too cool to play Joe McGrath. Way too cool.
Somebody mentioned...
John in Winnipeg. John Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
As Joe McGrath.
Yeah. Slam dunk.
Perfect.
Oh, how about that? Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
Thursday night football, the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. This game tonight will be like watching two old people have sex.
how about that?
That's why you have to keep watching, because you don't know the next word out of my mouth. And I know that because I don't know the next word out of my mouth. Everybody's awake today.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, everybody. Start spreading the news. Flame Tech Football Friday is on the air, live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. And I'm saying, you football fans, tell all your friends. Get them over here onto YouTube Live, Game Plus, and give us a like as well and a subscription if you haven't yet. And the reason I say that is it's a Football Friday. We reserve these for football. So you football fans, you people that love football more than anything else, get on it. And that includes our co-host today, award-winning sports executive Lee Genier, the man with pizzazz and chutzpah. How you doing, Lee? Good. I know you said that's your number one sport.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Why? Did you play it?
Oh, I've played it. Absolutely. Played it forever.
Here in this town?
Here in this town, other towns, you name it. Yep. I think I could still put a ball in the end zone from center field.
Is that right, huh? Throwing it, kicking it?
Throwing it.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds
The gunslinger.
I smell a challenge.
Let's go.
I smell a challenge here. So listen, we'll have some brief, very brief hockey talk here. Although, let's be honest, people are ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs. That is the sense I get. But let's be honest, we'll save a lot of that for next week, where we will be back here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. But these NHL games, for the most part, people going through the motions, ready for the playoffs. And the other teams are looking forward to next year. I got a very interesting call this morning about some firings. He's like, keep your ear to the ground for this in the NHL. And I'm like, I'm talking football today, which reminds me, our guests today include, from ESPN 1530 Cincinnati, Moe Egger, our good and longtime friend, Bengals Radio, to talk about the NFL draft. And from the CalgarySun and Herald, Danny Austin, who covers the Calgary Stampeders, and I think probably this spring the Flames if they go on this long run. So there's the guests. Can you please hit the Quick Six show horn, Director Jordan, please, and thank you.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Well, again, for those that don't know, the Quick Six show topics are of importance to me, the host, because it is the Rod Pedersen Show. So number one on my radar, Lee, is the National Football League. And defense was the focus of night one of the draft, with the first 5 selections coming on that side of the ball, including edge rushers Trayvon Walker of national champion Georgia going to Jacksonville, and Aiden Hutchinson of Michigan going to the Lions at numbers 1 and 2. It's the first time in 31 years that no player on offense went in the opening 5 picks. So there was a little bit of a wah, wah, wah feel. I was watching when Pittsburgh, though, took Kenny Pickett at number 20, the hometown kid. It was like the only intrigue of last night. Am I wrong?
No. Well, I mean, they need a quarterback. So, makes sense. Bring a quarterback in.
Now they also have Mason Rudolph and Mitchell Trubisky. So that's the camp you're going to want to be at.
Absolutely.
To watch that.
They're going to be fighting for a job.
Those guys. Yeah, that'll be the most competitive thing. Is there's an off-season storyline for you. But we're going to get into, obviously, some CFL talk here, too. But Lee and I went out and we watched the Raptors game last night, and oh, boy, now the thoughts are flooding into my head. It was tight until halftime.
It was.
Wait a minute, that's point 2. I don't want to get into the Raptors right now because it's a football Friday. I didn't really know who these players were, and shame on me. But I'm not a scout or a personnel guy, and I got bored. I got enough of the fans, the drunken revelry. Good on you, but there's got to be something else on. And I flipped over to the Oilers and the Sharks, and it was actually, that turned out to be a great decision. So I wasn't clinging to the set last night, were you?
No. I mean, you have to be really deep in NCAA football to understand all these guys, and you might know someone. Is like I say, there's more compelling stuff, or just being at the party in Vegas, right? Which was probably more engaging to a lot of people in Vegas last night.
Of course, well, our guy Andrew Pedersen, Hustler, was there from Winnipeg Sports Talk. He's doing his show from the draft, and his show airs right after ours on YouTube Live at, 1 p.m. Central, I think. But here's the point about all this. The CFL draft goes next week. Lee, you worked in the CFL for right on 20 seasons?
19 years. Well, 20 years we'll go on.
Yeah, 20 for me.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that I noticed last night that nobody was on social media saying, why can't the CFL do this? Why? No, that ship sailed. And more than I said to Lee, most of our viewers don't know who these players were last night. If I don't and you don't, they don't, I don't think. Unless they're ardent, hardcore college football fans. This is the point that I wanted to get to. Has the ship just sailed, and we won't even talk about the CFL glitzing up its draft? Because they've tried. I'm not CFL guy here. We're going to be giving it a ton of coverage this year. There's no doubt. We're going to be in the venues. I don't want to say too much, but we got some exciting things coming down the pipe with the Canadian Football League and this show. I love it, and so do you.
Absolutely.
Are we in a war with the National Football League in this country? That's my commentary today, that nobody really seems to understand what I'm saying or wants to join the argument. But Lee and I are going to talk about it right here as 2 longtime CFL guys, because I sniffed that you don't agree with me. I think that we're in a war with the NFL for eyeballs, ticket sales, jersey sales.
And
you say we're not.
Yeah, I don't think we are at all. I mean, the CFL is a proprietary league. It has its fans, and you know what? There's a lot of cross-pollination between fans. There's football fans. We're not in a war at all. Because, again, there's a reason that CFL puts games on certain days. Like, you don't want to play on Sunday afternoon when you get into NFL, right?
Yeah.
So it's not in a war at all. Like, I mean,
don't look at me like it's not a thing. It's a thing. The way I look at it, and you're a sales guy. No, well, what are you? You're a business guy. You're a marketing guy. You're all of it. You're everything that's not on the field, basically.
Yeah.
Do you not think that for every ticket sold to a Canadian to an NFL game, that's money out of the CFL's pocket? Do you not see that? Do you not think going down to Jersey City or Fanatics, our newest partner, I can't wait for those commercials to run, guys making a decision, or a young girl to buy a jersey, I'm going to buy a Carson Wentz jersey instead of a Bo Levi jersey. That to me is a war. That is a competition.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's seepage both ways. Like, there is an NFL Canada division.
Right.
Right. So, CFL, going back to the 90s when there was expansion into the U.S., I know the NFL was unhappy about it, but it wasn't a threat. I mean, right now you've got 2 new leagues coming, to the NFL, right? So I think they're partners in it. So how can you kind of say that, the CFL is a threat to the NFL? It might be a threat to the CFL to some degree, right? Because, the NFL puts on a great game, great broadcast, the way they do their marketing, and I think the CFL could take some cues from the NFL and the way they do things.
Sure. And I don't think we're really arguing here per se. You can see where I'm coming from, I think. Can you not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I
can see where you think, okay, is money going this way or that way? I think it just, to be quite honest, all football gets all fans excited. So.
Yeah, and probably the best thing was when the CFL moved its games off Sunday in the fall. So I'm not saying that nobody in the CFL is doing their job right now, believe me, because their feathers get ruffled anytime that I say anything. And the fact that 2 very good friends of mine, and the old-timers will know them and know their story, Ron Este, Hall of Famer, Edmonton Eskimos, LSU Hall of Fame, and George Reed, same thing. The G Unit both came to the CFL in the 60s, early 70s because it paid more. Say it out loud. That was a thing. Yeah. The CFL paid more than the National Football League 50 years ago.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Even into, I think, the 70s. Like, things were...
Yes, not even 50 years ago. So it's a book somewhere to be written as to how it went. And that's not what I want to get into today, but my point is simply this. Ships sailed, I think, on the CFL doing any kind of glitzy glamour for their draft, and that's fine. This is not a criticism today. But what I will say... That was a party last night. You bring out a Hall of Famer. The bus, was it the bus that was on stage for the Steelers? Yeah. Not about the players. It's about getting pissed and hanging out and having a great time and bringing out the Hall of Famers. It's not about the players. And we don't have the money, Rod. This is a recording. Well, you got the money to fly in all these global players that are never going to play. So to do a little, I'm sure the Grey Eagle would love to have a draft here. The more that I think about it, it is about, they like to party at the Grey Eagle. Did you know that?
I see it every day.
They like to party all day and night. So anyways.
It's just a missed opportunity. It's an off season, you're leading into the season. Yes, you should blow up your draft and get people excited about it. It's an opportunity. It's a missed opportunity. So you want to take every opportunity in the off season to showcase your league, especially with what it's been through in the last couple of years. Right?
Well, and like I say, in the back of my mind this morning, I was thinking about the show and my commentary and what I was going to say. And the NFL basically has taken the last month off from the public eye. They never take a day off year round, but publicly, now with the draft. Now we're getting into OTAs. Now we're getting ready to get into the season. They maybe take a month off.
Yeah, and you got to remember, they don't start playing until September. So take the cues of a league that does it the best. And we had some discussion last night. I said there's leagues that do things really well all over the world. It's called R&D, rip off, and duplicate.
Research and development.
Just go and find out who does it the best.
Franco Harris. Thank you. It was Franco Harris on the stage. I'm sorry. I'm not up on my Steelers lore. I apologize. Okay. It's a football Friday. That's what I told you people to settle in. I told Lee last night at the 722 World Beer House, I said, get ready, Lee. It's going to be right down your alley. All football. Look at the grin on your face.
Let's talk about it. Let's get in deep.
Yeah. So into the chat. Good morning, Chris. My cousin's up and in from Medicine Hat. Jack Fulton in Vulcan, Alberta. I agree with Rod. The CFL is definitely in a battle with the NFL. Sorry, Lee. Herm Harrison told me he came to the CFL for more money over the NFL. From Randy in Winnipeg, my Chargers picked Zion Johnson, a big offensive lineman with a 17th pick. No second-round pick. Thank you for the Chargers update. Nelson Hakowich, our VP of Sim Events, writes in. He says, Amar Doman hinted very strongly in the XFL Markcast that the Schooners could be here as soon as the 2023 season. He goes on to say, Nelson, where is it here? This is the first year I have a deep understanding of the CFL prospects, only because the CFL has been doing prospect profiles on YouTube and social media. Eric Thomas, I believe, is in Hamilton. He says, I don't watch the NFL. The CFL is the only pro football league I watch. NCAA is the other league of football that I watch. Carlos in Indianapolis says a war between the CFL and NFL will end badly for the CFL. And I think we all know that. I'm just trying to... This is not a criticism. Put it on my tombstone. It's not a criticism, Lee. My tombstone's going to be as high as a skyscraper, just so you know it. Because I got all these sayings on it. One is, I never said I was a journalist. But the people that work in the CFL right now and do a great job, and what I keep hearing from people is, we got a small staff, we're working our asses. That is all true. How we got to where we are is not your fault. Where the eye was taken off the ball, I don't know. And incidentally, back to Mike Kelly with his comments that these rule changes, none of them were necessary. We didn't really get into that yesterday because it wasn't a Football Friday. So let's swing around on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they were necessary. They're like a last-ditch effort to maybe make an impact. I'm thinking 18 days before training camp. Who does that? You're actually probably doing yourself a disservice. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Bruce Simpson from William Huff, who does a lot of fields across the league, he's probably...
Pulling his hair out.
Head's probably spinning this morning.
Pulling out a beautiful head of hair that he has.
That's right.
Not as beautiful as Tommy Wheeldon, not to say that, but...
Tommy.
By the way, Clark, did you open our WhatsApp? Did you see the photo that I put in there of the Bomber jerseys? Please do that. Thank you. Because Jeff the Stamps fan is in... I feel like we're having a nice old CFL chat here today. Jeff the Stamps fan says, Bomber fans, what are you thinking about those third uniforms? Patrolman Pete says they are fire. As soon as Clark gets a hold of that photo, we'll put it on the screen and you can see it. Monty in Saskatoon says, the CFL, are you coming to camp in Saskatoon for the Riders camp? That is a hard no. Won't be there for Rider training camp. Andrew from Quebec. If they're in a battle with the NFL, they'll lose. They have TV and streaming services trying to get to show NFL games. I think what people are missing here is that Canada, the CFL did beat Canada the CFL did beat the NFL in ratings in Canada not that long ago. And I mean, kick the dog snot out of them. And now they're losing. See what I'm saying, Lee? Like, where I'm coming from.
You have to remember is through COVID, like they didn't play a season.
It was happening before that.
But again, that's a great. You can't say it's a war. It's because one business is doing better than the other. I don't know if you can call it a war.
I feel like you're a CFL guy saying it's a war when we're winning, but when we're losing, it's not a war.
No. I mean, again, everything, there's evolution, everything, and there's probably a lot of people out there that wouldn't like what I have to say is having spent 20 years in the league and been very close to the league my entire life, things do have to evolve, right? You have the CFL is very proprietary. You have a 3-down league, much different than where they play all over the world. Like, I go to Sweden, there's 34 teams that play NFL rules just in Sweden alone. So, when they talk about going to 4 downs and playing them, I know that could be a very controversial topic.
Stop the presses for a sec.
But is maybe that is the future. So you can have more interchangeable. Hey man, it's guys. Like I look at guys.
Hang on, I got to stop. Just for a break. We're up time wise.
Okay,
folks. Tell all your friends. Start spreading the news. Text your buddies. Send it out. That we're having a CFL talk today on a Flame Tech Football Friday. Flame Tech, your industry leader in combustion services. Lee Genier is with us. He is us. Lee Genier is with me. Moe Egger from ESPN Cincinnati is coming up, and Danny Austin, too. We'll get to your comments in the chat. Today's your day. John Huffnagel's admitted to wanting to explore 4 downs. We do have the photo of the Bomber jerseys. We'll get to that after the break. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Gray Eagle Resort and Casino.
Legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
It is a Flame Tech Football Friday, coming to you from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in the beautiful gateway to the Rockies here, gateway to the foothills, Tsuut'ina Nation. By the way, I got to tell you a couple things. Lee Genier with us, award-winning sports exec, the Moose, enjoying a well-deserved day off. If you're going to text the text line, and I encourage you to do so, you see the number on the screen, 902-518-3033. Do it earlier on in the show. Because I turn on the phone, Lee, and I get all these near the end of the show from yesterday. And I'm like, we didn't have time to get to these. For instance, Rose in Edmonton says, did I miss you talking about the NHLPA survey results? I'd like to know what Lee thinks about the results. I don't even know what she's talking about. I didn't see the survey. Did they vote that McDavid was the best player in the NHL? I think that's all that I saw.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
That's all I saw, and I think we would all agree. regarding the Las Vegas NLL team name, the Desert Dogs, which neither Lee nor I are in favor of. DG in Saskatoon writes in, he says, morning guys, I hate anything other than your city or province/state in your team name. I remember the Colorado Avalanche almost became the Rocky Mountain Extreme many years ago. As for the Vegas team, how about the Las Vegas Mafia? With all the background in that city. Does Lee think any leagues would allow Mafia in a team name? See, I'm getting completely off track here, but it's like, yeah, I kind of regret saying that. I feel like I'm offended by the name Calgary Hitmen. Hitmen are part of the Mafia. You're promoting organized crime and violence. I say that very tongue-in-cheek, and now I am in Calgary. Fortunately, they haven't held it against me. But that's a Mafia term, the Hitman. Come on.
Yeah, but that was Brett the Hitman Hart who used to own
Yeah, but don't be in the yeah, but crowd.
Yes, but no, there was a lot of controversy when that came out.
Was there?
Absolutely.
Well, they won out. Obviously, Hitman won out. Mm-hmm. And here's one. Craig in Calgary says, I'm with Lee here. There's no real war except in the heads of stubborn, diehard, old guy Canadian football fans. And for those that just joined us, the question is, are we in Canada at war with the NFL? As a CFL. Because I think we're still CFL guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we at war with the NFL in a competition for the dollar, for eyeballs? Lee says no. I say yes. And the crappy thing is I got to listen to him because of his history and his resume. He might actually know what he's talking about. But Craig in Calgary says, in my generation, football is football. We enjoy the game, not clinging on to archaic traditions. Partnerships between the leagues and networks are great opportunities. Myself, I have stamped season tickets and merch, but I also follow the glamour of the other leagues' players. So thank you, Craig in Calgary, for that. I support it all. I buy NFL stuff. I buy CFL stuff. I guess you can be a fan of both.
Absolutely. It's like
that's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah. You can be a fan of F1. You can be a fan of NASCAR. Doesn't mean it's a war between them. They both carve out their own markets.
I'm sure there are people in those leagues that feel that they're at war, though. Competition.
I mean, to some degree, it's all complementary. Like if you like cars going 300 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So
from the viewers, what do you got?
Well, no, I just talk about, probably the perfect example. You've got a guy like Alex Singleton, goes down to NFL. He still touts the CFL. I don't think it's a war. I think it's very complimentary, right?
It's interesting. They're talking about that NHLPA poll, and somewhere along the line, I missed it. There's a lot of things going in and out of this cranium. But Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, I'd like to see a similar poll conducted of WHL players. Well, guess what? They used to do it. Greg Drinnan, now of GregDrinnan.com, Regina Leader Post fame. Bruce Lubke, the former voice of the Wheat Kings, they used to do these polls of the players. We love voting on it. They used to do it in the CFL. The Herald did it. Best fans, best stadium, best this, next coordinator to be a head coach. Nobody's doing it anymore because everybody's around sitting on their ass. And you would think now would be the easiest time to do it with the thing that they call the internet.
Makes it easy. Makes it easy. It's a marketing opportunity all the time.
Somebody else go do it. I'm not doing it. See what I'm saying? We're getting way off track. Back on track. Are you having fun?
Always.
Yeah, but today more than most.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Talking football.
We've got the photo of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' third jersey. And again, this is the marquee franchise in the CFL that nobody wants to admit. But it is. And the Blue Bombers came out with this. There's my guy, Willie. In the middle, I recognize some of those guys. Nick Dembski, Adam Bighill. Is that Mercy Maston in the middle, 37er? Brandon Alexander? I don't know. 3 of the 4, that's pretty good on my behalf to recognize that is. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I hate that right now. It just dawned on me. You're broadcasting the game, Lee, and Nick Dembski turns toward his quarterback to catch the pass in the end zone. I can't see who he is. There's no number on the front of his jersey. Ottawa did this years ago with their third jersey, and it was the R or something. Sorry, don't like him for that reason. Can you please put numbers on the front and the back of the jersey? Rant off.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
It is Brandon. Thanks, Clark. I named 4 for 4. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, good for you. But, I agree with you 100%. Numbers on the front, and you need the guys that are calling the game to know who's there. And when you're a quarterback, looking downfield is you got some tunnel vision there, so you want to know who you're throwing the ball
don't know who the player is.
No. See a bunch of blue dudes down there.
Okay, Winnipeg, don't at me. I got to say, I love the color scheme. I love all of it, but I wouldn't want to be calling the games.
No.
So here's one from Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events. From my time marketing the Riders, they viewed everything as competition that took place in the same month. The Rush were competition, right down to your couch and store-bought beer as competition. See, that's why I think the Riders have slid big time, because of that attitude. That's within the last, Nelson, 5 years, right? Because I'd like to see everybody work together. Together we achieve more.
Oh.
Whatever that acronym is.
Yeah, together. Team.
Together, everyone achieves more. That's what it is.
Yep.
And with that attitude, it's wrong. And I guess if we're not in a competition with the NFL, then good, but I would like to work with the NFL as a CFL. And, folks, that ain't happening either.
No.
That's not happening.
Perfect example is the XFL signing this agreement with the NFL.
They're working together.
Yeah. There was an opportunity for the XFL and the CFL to work together. Went away. Perfect example.
I think that the CFL is subliminally in a war with the NFL, and they don't know it. And it's a topic for another day. I've long been a proponent of NFL Canada. I am a proponent of flourishing and people being paid more and full stadiums, not what's going on right now. This is funny, by the way. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, "Ha, Derek Taylor said the same thing about the uniforms on the front. You broadcasters." I understand that we're the only ones that care, but as Lee pointed out, the quarterback wouldn't be that happy either because he can't see who the player is. So thank you for DT, which, by the way, Clark, can you make a note of that? We want to get Derek Taylor on the show. Not next week, but probably the week after. If that. Yeah, thank you. And Don says, can you not enjoy both? U Sports and NCAA? You can, but what I'm asking is, are you watching both? And because I'll say this right now, we are literally in a competition on Game Plus TV with the other television channels that are on at the same time. That is a fact.
Well, that's exactly at the same time. But that's why you have to toggle that you're not putting games on Thursday nights in NFL season, right? I mean, NFL could have six other game nights. They could have Tuesday night football. They could have Wednesday night football as well, right? So you have to pick and choose when you're on. You should stay away from Saturday afternoons because NCAA is big, and it's just...
I don't know. I feel that broadcast is no different. Media is really no different than sports teams, and that we are actually in a competition. It would be nice to work together, but nobody does. I've reached out to other media outlets to work together, and for the most part, they don't. But I thank Danny Austin for coming down later on an hour or two to talk about this. Now, moving that on a little more. By the way, Wayne in Victoria says, I love that acronym, Rod. That's why the CFL should work with the NFL to promote both together. Together, everyone achieves more. I didn't come up with it. Just so you know, I saw it on a wall in one of the thousands of locker rooms that I've been in my life, and I like it. To John Huffnagel admitting that he did, in fact, vote for a further exploration of 4 downs in the Canadian Football League. Wonderful article that I read at 3 Down today. I don't know if they did the original interview or where it came from. I don't know. But Arash was right. He was the first to report this and was soundly trounced for it, but we won't go down that road. Huff said it was misconstrued how this played out. I don't know if you read the article. Just said the highlights. He's like, it came up. He goes, I voted for exploring it further. He didn't vote specifically for going to 4 downs. I think there's a difference there.
Yeah, well, I think you do have to explore it for the evolution. And they're going to say there's going to be a ton of CFL people out there that are going to hate what I have to say, but there's a reason that Zellers isn't around anymore or Sears isn't around anymore. Things change. And the future could be 4 down American-type football in Canada. So you can have better opportunities. I mean, look at, and I'll just make a quick example. What if there was a partnership with the XFL where you had 16 teams and you had a true cross-border league, no different than the NHL? The opportunities there are limitless. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard for people to accept change. And like I say, I love the game. But again, if it's not going to survive or it's not going to be at its peak, how do you make it better?
Well, they refuse change and don't really seem to like evolution. But we don't have a ton of time. We got 2 minutes till we got to break, and we'll bring in Moe. We've got more time next hour to get into this with you, but you worked in the CFL and the U.S. expansion, and I did not. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. I'm just not old enough to have been around. You're just a couple of years older than me, I kid. But that must have been...
Older? What?
You're only as old as you feel. Listen, you got 2 minutes. How awesome was it?
What?
The U.S. expansion.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, you had teams... Vegas, going down to Vegas, 38 degrees was great. I mean, it was great to see an international. It just needed to be handled better, right? At the time, it was all about getting the expansion fees that never actually came because the guys kind of all defaulted, right? But that, the intention was there back in 1993. It was there. It just wasn't handled as well as it should have been.
Shocking.
Other than Baltimore, which was drawing 40,000 people.
Because they love football.
Yeah.
It wasn't handled well. What would you have changed?
Well, you would have had to lead into it better. Just to, as opposed to just going, hey, we're going in here. You would have had to have a better marketing plan and market the game better at the time. Why it was different, and it was just more in your face. Here's the team, and I don't think they did a really good job.
It was rushed, is what you're telling me.
I mean, it's hard to launch a league as it is. But now you're putting Canadian teams in the U.S. market, right?
Have you read the book Border Wars, the story of the CFL's U.S. expansion?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome book, huh? Awesome. Written by my good friend Ed Willis. Lee, we'll see you back in a bit.
Look forward to it.
We're going to Cincinnati next with ESPN 1530's Moe Egger. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, live streaming today on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It's the RP Show coming at you live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. By the way, the living legend, 8-time Grammy Award winner, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and most influential blues artist, Buddy Guy, returning to the Grey Eagle Event Center stage tomorrow night. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. And by the way, Friday, May 2nd, Canadian rockers Billy Talent returning to Calgary for an incredible show. The band will be joined by special guests Anti-Flag and Norbro. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. It is day 2 of the NFL Draft, and if you haven't voted on our poll yet, you should. For Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, are you following the NFL Draft? Last I saw, close to 70% of respondents are saying yes, they are. I know our next guest is ESPN 1530's Moe Egger, Cincinnati. And there he is. Oh, hi, look at this guy. You got it.
Well, yeah, I wore this. First of all, when is Chilliwack taking the stage? Isn't that Canada's best rock band?
Gone so long. Do you know their songs? I love Chilliwack.
That's a great tune. So I think of Canadian rock. I think of Chilliwack. Yeah, I'm wearing my Rod Pedersen sweatshirt. First of all, I didn't know if this is like when you go see a band, you're not supposed to wear the T-shirt of the band you're seeing. But it's a great-looking T-shirt. I figured you would enjoy it. Also, we're getting to the warmer months, and I figure it would serve as a reminder that I could use some warm weather Rod Pedersen show gear.
How about that?
Yeah, you look very cozy, Mo, and it doesn't look obviously like you're in Las Vegas. Did you flirt with the notion of going to Vegas for the draft, considering your reporting on the reigning AFC champion team?
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone to Vegas. I would have done no work. It would have been like Los Angeles when I saw you for the Super Bowl. You could always sign me up for a trip to Vegas. That would have been... I do want to attend an NFL draft one year, mainly to talk to people about why they're attending the NFL draft.
Explain. Don't just drop that and leave. They look like they're having a good time to me.
They look like they're having a great time, but I mean, how exciting is it? Like, I think it's a really cool television show. I love I get exhausted sometimes with the pre-draft process, I'll admit to you, but like the draft as a television show, especially last night with all the trades, is really compelling television. And I love just seeing these guys realize a dream come true. I don't think that part gets focused on nearly enough. But as an in-person event, it just doesn't seem to me like there's a lot of there. Like, I don't know what would compel somebody. If you live in town, like if the draft were here in Cincinnati, I'd go. But like, I don't know that that's an event that I want to travel to go see in person. So I'm interested in like, what is the event like in person? And all right, talk to me about why you saved up money to come to the draft.
Yeah, well, because I think as you just said, any trip to Vegas is a fun one, but that's Vegas. It's not going to be in Vegas every year. But let me say this: I don't know. I saw you Wednesday of Super Bowl, and then I never saw you again. I'm sure your week got super busy, but I think they go to the draft because you might rub elbows with an NFL star. I've been when the CFL had certain live events. It was like 95 and 93. I was at them, and they actually were a lot of fun. They brought the prospects out on stage, and it was great. They don't do it anymore, but I think Wouldn't you think that's what it is, to rub elbows with fellow NFL fans? I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but at the Super Bowl, I enjoyed it. I got to convert with NFL people. It was a lot of fun.
Well, your experience was better than mine then. Do a lot of cavorting with NFL people. No, I'm not saying this critically. I just, it's, you're in this area. They're bringing picks on stage. Is it that exciting? And maybe the answer is yes. I don't know. I haven't been, but if somebody wanted to send me, I would go to the draft and I would mingle with the people, as we say.
Well, let's put it this way. They're saying it's the weakest draft in over 10 years. The top quarterback didn't go until 20th, as you know. So maybe that has something to do with the fact it's not a lot of sizzle. Like last year's draft is one you would have wanted to be at.
No question. I look, from a quarterback standpoint, this draft is, let's face it, pretty underwhelming, certainly in comparison to recent years where you had Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow and even the Baker Mayfield draft. But, we had 6 wide receivers go in the top 20, among the top 20 picks. There's some bona fide stars there. So I think the direction the NFL is moving in was reflected by the draft last night. But, I think for people who follow college football casually, this draft lacked the sort of punch, the sort of sizzle that we've had in recent years. And usually the stars of the draft are quarterbacks, and we only had one go off the board last night. And let's face it, Kenny Pickett's Pittsburgh team had a really, really nice year, but you wouldn't say he was a transcendent college star like Trevor Lawrence was, or like Tua Tagovailoa was, or like obviously Joe Burrow was. So I think that impacted the draft, and maybe that made it a less compelling event in person. I thought it made for really compelling television last night. But, again, if you and I could do a road trip to the draft, and next year you and I could do our respective shows from there.
I think that would be fantastic. Do we know where it'll be? I don't know. I should know this. I should know the answer to this question. This is easily Googleable, but I don't know off the top of my head. Somebody will tell us. Somebody will tell us in the chat. I don't care where it is, man. If it's Green Bay, I would go, Mo, if I knew you were going to be there. Which, by the way, in the few minutes we have left, I don't care about Michigan safety Daxton Hill, who the Bengals took with the 31st pick. I do, no offense to him, but I care more about your Super Bowl experience because I was thinking about you with the dying moments of the game. Was it just like another kick to the stomach as a Bengals fan? Like I legitimately fell for you because I saw your tweet about thinking about your dad the morning of Super Bowl and stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, this is tough.
So really quick, Wikipedia tells me the draft next year is in Kansas City, which is a great city. So we should. How about that? So for me, it was a combination of things. First of all, there was the coolness of seeing my favorite team play in the Super Bowl, which I never thought I would experience. I had been to 2 other Super Bowl games. I legitimately never thought in my life I would see the team of my youth, my beloved Bengals, my hometown team. I never thought I'd see them play in the Super Bowl in person. And from a professional standpoint, to get a chance to do shows from the city that my team was playing in the Super Bowl in, that kind of superseded everything. There was also a sense for me of, hey, they got here and they have a pretty good chance to be good for a while. And so the championship window is pretty open. And then at the same time, they were this close. They're a stop away from having the ball with the lead in the final moments of the game, and you feel like they have a chance to salt it away. The play calling at the end of the game was certainly suspect. That's going to stick in my craw. And the reality is, as much as I think everybody likes the Bengals roster, and I like the Dax Hill pick, by the way, you don't know when you're going to be back. There's an insane amount of luck that requires you just to get back to where the Bengals were. This postseason run was reflective of that. And so you walk out of that stadium last night appreciative for the opportunity to be there and appreciative for the season they had, but you just go, man, when are they going to be in that position again? And are we going to be sitting here years from now going, that was their best chance of winning a title? And so until they have a chance to win one and ultimately finally grasp a Lombardi trophy, you are very, very justified in looking back at that night, February 13th, with a great deal of regret and remorse and wistfulness. And I certainly would count myself among the people who kind of look back on that experience that way.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. What do you legitimately think their chances are of being in the Super Bowl this year in Arizona?
Well, they're in the mix. Look, the AFC is insanely competitive. I mean, this offseason, last night we actually had really good AFC players get traded to the NFC to kind of balance things out just a little bit. But start with the division. The Cleveland Browns, from an offensive standpoint, are going to be more formidable. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be more formidable just because they're going to be healthier. They can't help but be healthier. And I do like what they did in the draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to be an easy out either, although I would certainly stop short of saying that Pittsburgh is a Super Bowl contender. I think you can look at the AFC, and there are 12 or 13 cities in which fans there think their team should make the postseason. That speaks to the depth of talent, of quarterback play, of skill play that's in this half of the NFL. The AFC West is going to be an absolute dogfight. I think there's 2 legitimate Super Bowl contenders in the AFC North, and there's 1 in the AFC East. And so are the Bengals in that mix? Yes. I think what's interesting about this offseason is you saw the Super Bowl, Rod, right? The Bengals lose that game in large part because their offensive line was awful. They have addressed the offensive line. 3 free agents in their prime. They've spent money. 3 guys, 29 or younger. So, okay, their biggest weakness has been solved. And so you would think, God, you know what? They've separated themselves from the pack. But the pack also has gotten formidable, right? Quarterbacks, skill guys in this part of the AFC. Teams are going to be healthier. Can the Bengals be as healthy as they were last year? I think this is going to be insanely fun. I think the Bengals on paper are going to have a better team in 2022 than they did last year. But are they going to enjoy the same injury luck? Are they going to win the kind of close games they did last year? And then, what do you make of the things you can't control, like the Kansas City Chiefs, like the Las Vegas Raiders, like the Denver Broncos getting better, like the LA Chargers probably taking a step forward with their quarterback? The improvements made by AFC teams, I think the Bengals on paper have a better team than last year. I don't know that I would be prepared to say that their chances of getting to the Super Bowl are as good, but that's a reflection of how tough the division and the conference is.
Well, as you say, it's going to be insanely fun. Mo, thanks for this. Yes. If I don't see you, I'll see you in Kansas City at the draft 1 year from now. And you break a leg this afternoon, sir. Good to see you.
Rod, it's always good to see you. I wear an XL. Just keep that in mind. If you want to send
absolutely, I'll tell the boys.
Rod Pedersen XL. I could use one of those lime green shirts you were rocking in L.A.
I know you like those.
And by the way,
right. Okay.
Give Chilliwack my best.
You know it's Chilliwack, right?
No, I had no idea.
It's Chilliwack. All right. Thank you, Mo.
Hey, give the guys from Chilliwack my best. See you, Rod.
There you go. Moe Egger from ESPN 1530 Cincinnati. Taco Time viewer takeover is next. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and if you missed the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy the best podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming. The Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
We are live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Oh boy, there's some interesting things going down. I'm checking the 902 text line here in this Taco Time viewer takeover. By the way, Taco Time sources all their ingredients right in Canada, over 120 locations across the Great White North. A lot of things to get into today. Coming back into hour 2, we got Danny Austin's going to be joining us from the CalgarySun and Herald, Stampeders beat writer on this Football Friday for Flame Tech. But earlier on, Lee Genier and I were discussing, was the CFL at war with the NFL? And I guess we're about 50-50 on that. Rose in Edmonton's watching. She says, I think the CFL is more worried about going head-to-head with the NHL. That is why they want us to freeze our butts off in November. Rose, thank you for that. I want to get into that with Danny next hour because my perspective's changing. When you come from Saskatchewan, where there's really only one team and no competition, to this, your perspective changes, and I'm getting it a little bit more. Metal Shingle Guy in the Queen City writes in. He says, Nelson is so right. Riders want all of it. The NFL game was canceled because of that. Winnipeg snapped it up and did such a good job changing the field. Very Winnipegish. Last minute of play in hour 1. Carrie in Red Deer says maybe there should be a fun exhibition fundraising game. An NFL team play a CFL team. I'd like to see the teams forget they have to play either 3 downs or 4 depending on where they play. Could make for funny bloopers. That's not going to happen, but how about a CFL versus NFL alumni game? How about that?
True.
Let's just do it with the alumni, because I tell you what, you could scrape up 55 guys that would play, that want to play, because they would play for real now. Write it down and tell Lee he's the idea guy. So anyways, we'll do it all coming up after this break. Game Plus and YouTube Live. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. It's a great Flame Tech Football Friday. We'll be right back after this timeout. DA?
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Now, Thursday night football, the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. This game tonight will be like watching two old people have sex.
How about that?
That's why you have to keep watching, because you don't know the next word out of my mouth. And I know that, because I don't know the next word out of my mouth. Everybody's awake today.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show. How about that?
It finally happened. It finally happened. I wasn't in the chair when we went to the show. Are you seeing? Is it working now, boys? Here's what happened. Oh, it is. Okay. Danny Austin's. Now you see yourself, Danny. Let's tell the world what just happened. Danny and I haven't seen each other in a couple months.
Couple months, yeah.
We got deep in chat. We got Lee running for coffee. Come on in, Lee. Come on in. We're having a party here on the stage bar. Thank you, my man. You're the best. Coffee's here. I'm talking. This is hilarious because Danny from the Calgary-Sun Herald, Stampeders beat writer and covering the Flames here in this run. You saw me scouring the crowd, right? You probably wondered what I was looking for.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I was looking for the coffee cart.
We got coffees now.
Right, but thanks to Lee.
Yeah, Lee helped out.
Dude.
You know me. 11 in the morning, I'm on my third, fourth cup. And
me too.
Yeah, you guys are treating me well.
Lee, last night, we went to this place called 722. Are you familiar with it? World Beer House?
Okay, yep.
Yeah. And he goes, how do you like living in a hotel casino? I'm like, it's the best. It's the greatest thing in the world. Are you kidding me? How could you not love it? They're making coffee strong to my specification.
Great buffet.
Right?
You eat well. How
I haven't put on any weight is unbelievable. So anyways, we're getting... to get serious here. And I didn't tell him to wear a lavender-colored jacket today. It just happened. Where'd you pick that up?
I got this at a store here in Calgary. I think the best sort of menswear store in the country called Les 17. My buddy works there, and they got some really, really nice stuff.
Les 17.
It's on 17th Avenue, so the 17. But yeah, it's really cool. It's got, honestly, the sneaker game there is just off the hook, and the clothing, it's more expensive than I can generally afford. But
you got a buddy there.
It is my birthday on Monday, so I treated myself.
Well, if anybody deserves it, Danny, it's you. I love it. I love it. Now, he came in and said, what are we going to talk about? And you said, let's stay away from NFL draft a bit because you are a Hoops fan.
I was watching my Raptors get decimated last night.
See, we were a little bit of squirrels around here, Lee and I. I don't want to necessarily lump you into that, although I think you do fit in here in that regard. We're all over the place today. I didn't get to the Raptors yet. So I saw they just got mollywopped. We were watching it. When I say I saw, we were watching the game. Coming out for the start of the third quarter, they didn't show up.
They didn't. It was essentially tied, and then they just got destroyed in that third quarter.
And our guy Rod Black blamed it on the fans not coming out from the suites in time to get into the crowd. He said that hurt the Raptors.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, me either.
Love Rod Black, but come on. I mean, look, honestly, two things. First of all, I still got my replica ring from 2019, so you can't upset me. I'm perfectly happy with
that. As a season ticket holder, or what entitles you for that?
I'm not always great with my money, and I spent money on a replica ring.
Good for you. You don't regret it, obviously.
No, that was a special time for me. I mean, it's the only time, as a born and raised Torontonian, it's the only time in my adult life that I've gotten a championship.
What year were you born in? What about the Blue Jays?
Blue Jays would have been 92, 93. So I was 8, 9 years old, and it's just different.
Right? Oh, your adult life.
My adult life, and then there've been a couple Argos, but because I'm a CFL reporter, I don't cheer for the Argos or for any team really. So so that was amazing, and ultimately, look, the Raptors are young. Scotty Barnes is a stud. I like what I saw. This wasn't supposed to be our year, so all good. It was fun to get a playoff series, and sometimes as a fan, it's not about winning. It's just about the experience, and that's how I feel.
Well, the way they started the season, playoffs didn't look like that was even...
No.
Yeah, so I think it was a good year for them, right?
I mean, if you only measure it by championships, no, but otherwise, look, there was a lot of growth. We've got a young team. I think we saw yesterday we need some more scoring, but that'll come, and we won a championship 3 years ago. It's okay to not be in contention.
Yeah.
So, and Kyle Lowry hopefully will finish off the Sixers for us now that he's in Miami. So,
your Raptors report brought to you by Les 17 men's clothing apparel on 17th?
On 17th Avenue.
So the viewers are chiming in, and I'm not going to give you anything you can't handle, okay?
Okay.
Craig Drebbett in Calgary writes in, here's a question for Danny. How come his byline photo in the Calgary Herald looks nothing like him? It doesn't capture his style.
I mean, I'm wearing a white shirt and black tie, which, I could do better. Let's talk to the bosses. Let's get that fixed up. Although I do look that is probably about 8 or 9 years ago, so the hairline's a little bit more forward. I mean...
You've changed.
I've changed. I've grown up. Grown old.
You were trying to look business.
Well, it's funny. I was covering the UFC at the time, so they wanted a picture where I looked really, really serious. And anyone who knows me, I'm not that serious a guy. So I'm so intense, and I'm staring at the camera, and that's where that photo comes from. I'll be honest, I think it's a good photo of me, but no, it is not. It's time to update that.
Update it, exactly. And as we've learned, and Danny will tell you later, not today, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Right? So from the viewers, again, nothing you can't handle. Carlos in Indianapolis is watching. He says, you never know what's going to happen on the RP show. Today was the first that we went to air and there was nobody in my chair. Congratulations, you were here for a first.
I witnessed history.
Darren in Utah regarding CFL, NFL. Lee and I were saying last hour, are we in a war as a CFL against the NFL? I say yes for ticket sales, eyeballs, jersey sales. He says no. And somebody was saying that we should have a game between two teams from each league. I said maybe the alumni playing would be more, the chance of that happening is a lot better. Who is it? Darren in Utah says they used to play an all-star game between the two leagues. CFL, NFL exhibition have been done in the 50s and 60s. Half a game NFL rules, half a game CFL rules. So I guess with the draft last night, Did you watch any of SportsCenter this morning or Sportsnet Connected? Did you see the 100,000 people on the Strip?
It was amazing. It was incredible. Yeah. And I honestly, I do think one of the things that the NFL has that the CFL doesn't have when it comes to the draft is you're actually drafting stars. And I think that with the CFL draft, which I love the Canadian players coming in, but let's be honest, 99% of the players who get drafted on Tuesday are at most going to be special teams players for their first year. Yeah. So the idea that you're going to have that same excitement, but also you actually see the players on draft night in the NFL. I think that's part of the drama. That's part of the fun. You get to see these guys. They get dressed up. They get to show personality. And one of the things that I just think is hard with the CFL draft is there's not the interest, so there's no reason to invest in it from TSN's perspective. And I honestly think they do the best job that they could. This is not a criticism of TSN, but it's ultimately 4 guys sitting behind a desk talking. It's just not as much. It's not as good a television product.
Yeah, no, and that I think that's what I wanted to make clear last hour is that none of this is a competition. But Danny, you're a lifelong Argo fan too, right? I said in the 60s and 70s, players were coming to Canada because it paid more. The CFL paid more than the NFL. Anybody that's a millennial or younger that would blow their mind. What?
It blows my mind.
And it's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay? So while I'm saying is it's not anybody's fault now in the CFL, but somewhere along the line over the past several decades, somebody dropped the ball is all that I'm saying. Now, you are a CFL fan. What's going to go down on Tuesday with the draft is pretty intriguing, right? It's because of the unique nature of the CFL draft, that makes it intriguing to me.
Well, and especially over the last couple of years, what we're seeing is the guys at the very, very top, the guys, the John Mechie's, who might come in and actually, make an impact, they're getting taken in the NFL draft. So it's this balancing act. I love it. It's
very interesting.
Last year, Stampeders' first-round draft pick was Eamon Ogbongbemiga, who Calgary kid, then got signed by, I believe, the Chargers.
Yes.
5th round, they took Chuba Hubbard, who obviously isn't coming up, and they were willing to wait on those guys in case there's even a chance that they come back. Are they willing to do that with their first-round pick this year? Do you gamble? Do you go big? Do you go with the highest possible talent if you may never see them? I don't know. I love that about the CFL draft. I find that fascinating.
Oh, dude. And Lee, when he comes back, he'll chime in on this too. It's fascinating to follow this because back in the day when I first started doing this, covering the CFL, they would take those NFL guys in the CFL draft knowing that eventually they'd come back. Mm-hmm. Dan Fetter, Kyles, Sam Jaguars, those kind of guys. But because the money's just gotten insane in the NFL, those guys play their NFL career and they're like, nee. Unless you're John Ryan, you're going to go home to your home. Yeah. They're not coming back.
We're not seeing them come back now. I mean, it's interesting because we are seeing here in Calgary, we saw American guys who came up, Reggie Begelton, Trey Roberson, who do go down, take their NFL shot, and then come back, and they, really appreciate the home that they find. So, but yeah, those Canadian guys, look, give me $10 million. I'm not going to play football anymore.
It's work.
That's $10 million's low level.
Yeah, but the other thing is people don't understand. Being a pro baller, amateur baller, is work.
100%.
And I don't think they see them for 3 hours on Sunday and they think that's it.
Yeah. I know with Alex Singleton, for example, Dave Dickinson said in an interview earlier this winter, he was like, well, yeah, it's getting to the point where we know he's not coming back. Because, if he's 31, 32 years old, Alex was always very clear. He would have been happy doing a couple years in the NFL, returning to Calgary, building a life here. But now it's just not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen.
Probably not, but if there was anybody who loves playing the game of football,
that's the thing.
It's Alex Singleton.
But I don't expect this. I think he's too good. I think that no matter what, he has a utility for NFL teams for the next couple of years. And at that point, he'll have built a good life for himself. And I don't know why you would come back. Will
there now be Calgary football fans that become Denver Broncos fans because Alex has switched from the Eagles to the Broncos?
I'm now a Denver Broncos fan because I'm not even a Stamps fan, but I just think that guy made such an impact on this community, on this football club. I honestly think he's the biggest star that I've covered here, to be perfectly honest, and that's during the Bo Levi Mitchell era. I just think that Alex was so invested in Calgary and loved playing here so much. Obviously, he had to take the NFL shot, but you can't help but root for that guy. Honestly, he's what you want from the CFL. A guy, American, Canadian, who cares? But he comes up here, he finds a home, finds a place to improve as a football player and really make an impact. And, yeah, you got to root for Alex Singleton. Come on.
11:11 Mountain, yes, 1:11 Eastern. Be aware of your surroundings. Are you into numerology?
Am I into numerology? Not really, no.
I'll tell you about it sometime.
Okay.
It's wonderful. Yeah, they're all right. 11:11, 1:11 Eastern. Well, and so Clay and Brandon's watching and commenting. Are you enjoying this? Just a
I love
BS
this.
session.
Completely.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Clay and Brandon. To me, the CFL is in more of a war with the NHL than it is the NFL. And now we're getting somewhere. War is a strong term, especially when there's actually one going on in the world at this time. But since I've come out here, Danny, my perspective's changed. In Saskatchewan, when there's no competition, you could play in January and kick off at midnight, and they would fill the stadium. Mm-hmm. You know that. Okay. But now that I'm out here, I can see why maybe with CFL training camps in 16 days, it's not great, given the Flames and the Oilers are headed to the playoffs.
No, there's no attention being paid. I will be covering the Calgary Flames certainly for the month of May, because Kristen has moved on to a new opportunity, which is awesome. But that's going to impact our coverage of the Stampeders simply because we don't have the manpower, and the Flames will always take precedent. They're the priority. But also, like, if the CFL is losing sleep over competing with the NHL, they're crazy. They got a lot of things that they can fix internally before trying to compete with the NHL or the NFL. I've said this on your show before, but I think one of the things that we miss is the CFL doesn't have to be number one. You know, you look at soccer all over the world.
It's number one.
The Premier League and the Premier League is number one, but the fans in, the fans in Sweden still love their Swedish soccer league. We don't have to compete with the NFL. Both can exist, but you have to acknowledge that it's so easy to watch the NFL now, where it wasn't even 10 years ago. That football fans have an alternative to the CFL. If they don't want to watch the CFL, they don't have to. You can fully watch every single NFL game, watch the draft, do all that. That's the problem, in my opinion.
I know, but I think you have to try. It's just the NFL coming into Canada and sponsoring the youth flag football leagues, and the kids get an NFL jersey where they used to get a CFL jersey. That is a problem.
Oh, it's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I question if in a year we're going to be looking back, and there has been so much toxic debate about the CFL over the last 5 or 6 months. You and I have talked about it. Look, I'm not innocent in it. I fight with people when I probably shouldn't on Twitter. But it's been brutal, and we've talked about all the problems with the game. Let's see when these teams get a full training camp and actually get preseason games and don't have to deal with COVID restrictions and can be in meetings together. The rule changes are great. I generally believe that one way or another, naturally, the product on the field was going to be better, and everything with the CFL starts there. We have to be honest, until the playoffs, the product on the field last year wasn't all that great. It was very good in the playoffs. Exceptional. If you want to sell the CFL, just show them last year's playoffs. But I expect it to be much better this year. And I do think that is your starting point no matter what.
Because of the rule changes, or why?
Because of the rule changes, and I honestly, I can't fully elaborate on this, but when I talk to the Stampeders, they say no preseason. They had all these young guys come in, and then they couldn't have meetings. So these guys really only saw each other on the practice field. They didn't have that bonding that goes into sort of really committing. And they say that really, really had an impact on the team and on the way that they were able to play. And I just think that those things getting back to a more normal lifestyle ultimately, but being a more normal football team, I think that's going to have a really positive impact. I'm not saying it fixes everything, but I do think it makes things better.
Can you stay for another segment?
I can stay as long as you need me.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Danny Austin with us from the CalgarySun Herald. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday. It's all football today. I told you it was going to be. Tell your friends. Start spreading the news. And get your questions and comments in. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live. And if you missed the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Out of all the entrants for the text line jingle, that's the one that won. Just so you know, that's the one that won. We're coming at you live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I'm just checking what's going on here. As we mentioned, Canadian rockers Billy Talent returning to Calgary May 2nd for an incredible show. That's next weekend. The band will be joined by special guests Anti-Flag and Nobro. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. Menopause the Musical. You're not going to want to miss that, Lee. After 5 years, Menopause the Musical is finally returning to Calgary with its hysterical, brilliant comedy. Come see what 17 million plus fans around the world have been laughing, cheering, and raving about for years. May 13th, Menopause the Musical. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. And Denny Austin here from CalgarySun Herald. I just have to say, you got the nice flow going. I got to introduce you to Tough Tribe. Promotional consideration for the RP Show brought to you in part by Tough Tribe for Men. Contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits. We are part of the clean beauty industry. Welcome to Clean Beauty for Men, available today at toughtribeformen.com. And I just said to Clark, can we get a prize package out to Andrew Lux? The dude has texted every single day for 2 weeks. Tough Tribe to the 902 line. Let's send him a package. That's dedication, Danny.
That's incredible.
That is incredible. Let's send Andrew Lux a prize package because I know that we have one to give. So, yeah. So it's a Flame Tech Football Friday here. We're doing our thing, but we will talk hockey for a second. Danny, like, it's all hands on deck, I would think at the Sun and Herald.
100%.
With the Flames run, I mean,
this is a really, really good Flames team, and I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think that there is an expectation, probably tempered by the Flames' historic failures over and over again in the playoffs, but I honestly think there's an expectation that we're going to get a couple rounds here, and there's a ton of excitement. So, yeah, we're pretty much all systems go. The Flames get back from this road trip tomorrow. They're in Winnipeg tonight. I'll be at practice, and it's playoff time. So it is, absolutely. And I think there's a lot to be excited about, too.
Congratulations, Danny. You get to interview Daryl Sutter.
You know what? There's an art to it. There's a magic to it. And, yeah, I mean, we all know Daryl's not the toughest. I often joke. I mean, last year when I was covering them as well and he took over, you spend your whole life and you're watching media guys kind of get roasted by coaches. And the number of texts that I got from my high school buddies just being like, it's so weird that it's you. the Daryl's ripping on. But honestly, like he's been pretty good the couple practices I've done recently. So you can tell he likes this group.
He doesn't suffer fools, and you're not a fool, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I mean I think that the other thing with Daryl is there's no reason to challenge what he's saying. I mean, this guy came in, what he's done has worked. I really I don't think that can be overstated, that when he got hired, I mean, I remember the reaction, and there were a lot of us wondering, like, oh, has the game passed this guy by? Well, he came in and took a team that was really underperforming and turned them into one of the top 5 teams in the NHL right now. So with Daryl, I mean, when he speaks, you listen. And that's sort of the magic of Daryl is sometimes he doesn't want to tell you anything, but when he does, it's often rooted in an honesty that coaches don't always have.
It's rare, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a pretty interesting guy.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Playoffs opening next week. Back to the CFL on this Flame Tech Football Friday, and we're not even delving into the NFL draft because gosh knows you can get enough of that in a million other places. But you see the stories come out. Did Huff have their state of the franchise?
No, so what the CFL is doing right now is just like every team is doing a Zoom availability basically this week. So yesterday was Huffnagel and Dickinson, technically a season preview and CFL draft preview. But
and he said this 4-down thing that he's like, yes, I did vote to explore it further. You tell me. You were on it, obviously?
That's exactly what he said. He was asked, and he said, look, I think we need to be, there's no stone left unturned, basically. And I did vote, yes, continue to explore it. He also did make the point that, they were talking about everything. Everything was on the table. They were just trying to find solutions to make the league better. So he didn't vote, yes, let's do 4-down football. He said, let's check what impact that would have. Let's continue exploring what that would mean for our league and for our sport and here in Canada. And I don't fully see what's controversial about that. But then I look across the national media, and that's what made all the headlines. So I guess I'm wrong there. But I don't think that saying we're going to explore 4-down football is the same as saying I want 4-down football.
But I think people thought he was voting for 4-down football.
Yeah, but we can also listen to what the man says. And that's not what he said. And Huffnagel's a smart guy. And he did say, look, when we're talking about getting rid of 3 and outs, I'm literally paraphrasing him, but this is a pretty quote. He said, I'm no genius, but if you have 4 downs, we have less 3 and outs. You get one more opportunity to get that first down. And there's a point there. I am completely opposed to 4-down football. I just think that it's been drastically overstated how much the league was really, really considering doing it in the short term. I think that they were right after the way last season went and after the problems that this league has had. They were right to explore everything, and they explored it and moved on. No big deal. No harm done. That's my opinion.
From Ryan H. watching on YouTube, he says, Danny is making a big push for Rockstar of the Day. Loving this conversation. Rockstar of the Day, of course, brought to you by our friends at Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. And I got a note about them that here it is. They specialize in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. We've got lids. Rockstar lids. I might pick some up this weekend. You like hats?
I love hats.
You'd look great in a Rockstar hat.
I got one right next to me because I was
debating,
nervous about how my hair looked.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, man.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet on the 4-down thing, and that, like, with Tressman weighing in and the big names weighing in, did you think that was a good thing or a bad thing for the CFL the way that played out?
I generally think it was a good thing. What I don't always understand, and I'm with the ratio debate happening right now, I understand that they're in collective bargaining, so they can't. Like, there's legal repercussions to them talking about it. What I don't understand is why, if this stuff was being discussed and it was to the point where it was pulling in guys like Tressman, really, really big names who have done a lot for the sport, I don't understand why it was just sort of allowed to linger. Like, where the CFL could have talked about what was going on. They could have come out and repeatedly said, this is what we're talking about. These are rules we're considering. Here's pros, cons. I don't know why it was left to sort of Twitter to have the conversation. I think that there's value in being more transparent about these things, and I would have liked that because, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring any of these things, but when it comes to major rule changes that would fundamentally alter what the game looks like on the field and what the game is, then the fans are a stakeholder and need to be involved in those discussions to a certain extent. And I'd like to see that in the future, but I honestly, I don't like the way it played out because there was so much fighting and arguing, and I always say, like, we got to remember, we talk about bringing in new fans. Well, not a single person was attracted to the CFL by the yelling and shouting that was happening on Twitter.
It's very toxic. I think you used the term earlier. And it's not law of attraction stuff, that's for sure. Our Navy friend Don says, I think Randy did a poor job at explaining the 4-down thing. And thank you, Don, because it's a wonderful segue into what I want to say next. Oh, the CFL had a communications problem. They didn't know how to roll it out. That's an historical thing. That's not new. And Randy's just not smooth. I actually do like the guy. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, but he's a business guy and a football guy. He's not a PR guy. He's not a marketing guy. He's made that very clear. The last guy they had that was Mark Cohan. Were you working? You were working in the league with Mark.
I was not actually.
No. You weren't?
No.
But you followed.
I was working in sports media during that time.
He could sell ice. Yep. To a penguin. I guess you can't say Eskimo anymore.
I'm not going to say it.
He could sell ice to a penguin, Mark Cohan. So Randy Ambrosie is just not smooth. We can all say that. But so my question is, you've covered a variety of leagues. You're a fan of a variety of leagues. But you're on the NHLB right now. Like, does the NHL and CFL operate in any regard? Like, the way the CFL comes off in these things, I don't see the other leagues coming off in that way.
No. I certainly think that when the NFL discusses rule changes, we know about it. We understand what's happening with it. And that can be frustrating. I will very quickly, just before I go on, note that when they announced the rule changes this week, Randy was made available pretty much. He was certainly available to me. So he was definitely out there talking about those rule changes, and that is a positive. I don't know. I think that the CFL does a really good job on some things. I think that this Atlanta-Canada game selling out so quickly speaks to potentially that market we do need to go back to exploring moving into Atlanta-Canada with the team, which I thought was dead in the water. I thought there was real momentum sort of through 2018 and 2019, and then it died. Grey Cup is a pretty magical event. I think they do a great job with it. Labor Day here is amazing. There are big things, but it's always hard to compare it to the NHL. The NHL is a ship with no leaks. I'm not speaking well right now, but CFL.
No, I think you're doing great.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. But it's hard because I think with the CFL we just need more of everything. We need more exposure. We need more coverage. We need more content. We need more
because it's great.
And I don't know why it doesn't happen beyond the really simple answer that there's just not money to do it. And that's so hard because where does that money come from?
Yeah.
And we say, invest. Well, I don't know. I know that every team lost money last year. I don't know that they have a ton of surplus cash just waiting to be injected. So I don't have the solution to that.
JJSA is watching, and I believe that viewers in Hamilton. He says, why is Rod so weirdly obsessed with the whole can't say this, can't say that stuff? It's so hacky and lame. Get over it. Do you know what he's referring to?
I'm assuming the selling ice to a penguin, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You need to be more clear on what you're criticizing me on, because this is what I would like to see from Randy. I've been at Randy's road trips. I've been at the State of the Union addresses at the Grey Cup. I think he could have come out and said, this is what we're doing. Like, did you see his news conference at Grey Cup where where the 4-down thing started? Did he explain it well at the start?
My memory of that is just, it felt like, I was pulling teeth trying to get him to just explain what Genius Sports even was. I think that's widely considered to be a disastrous
venture.
Press conference. I'm not
the
saying
news conference.
Sports. I think the Genius Sports thing is actually great, which is why I don't understand why they didn't explain it to us at the time. But yeah, that press conference was pretty rough. And I do think, again, ultimately, for all the fighting and all the talk that happened with 4-down, the place that we are arrived at is exactly what all of us wanted, which was we're going to keep going with 3 down and grow the 3-down game. It actually all worked out great. There's no problem there. It was weird that we had a couple months of weirdly off-base debate when we could have been talking, and it's the easiest marketing push of all time. You got 8 teams trying to knock off the powerhouse Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are amazing, who are arguably the best fan base. They're 1 or 2 in the entire CFL. Where's the marketing on that? This is 9-team league. 8 of them are going after the big guys at number 1. Market them as the big bad, team that can't be beat, and everyone's trying, and that's the narrative of the season. I haven't heard anything like that.
No.
It's okay to have the Bombers be central in all of your marketing right now.
And I think they'd be okay with it.
They should be.
Yeah, interesting that their 3rd jerseys came out yesterday, by the way.
I like those.
I don't. Only because, as a broadcaster with a W on the front, we covered this last hour. There's no number on the front.
Yeah.
It's terrible to call the games, but that's just me. JJSA says, the Eskimos thing. Well, he's saying get over it, it's lame. It comes up every day in my world. It came up this morning and a guy was talking to a football guy. The term Eskimos came out and we're like, we can't say that anymore. So if you don't like what I say, don't watch, because I'm not changing. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, writes in, he says, the NHL has consistency. The NHL has been Gary's vision for years. The CFL gets passed around like the project no one wants. I don't know. I mean, it's his opinion.
And it's a valid opinion, and I don't want to take away from it. I will also say that, the NHL in the States, they're playing in, the Coyotes are going to be playing in a, 4,000-seat arena?
And they'd still have seats available.
The NHL has its struggles, too.
Yes, but nobody talks about them.
Nobody talks about them. In Canada, it's doing great. But, every league has its struggles, and that includes the NFL. The NFL... It's great that Stan Kroenke can build a $1.2 billion stadium with his own money, but there are other markets, that how much taxpayer money went to the stadium in Buffalo. There's major issues there too that people have problems with. It's not the CFL's not alone in having challenges.
Before we let you go, and we're going to move Lee Genier in here next. Stampeders training camp. What's the storylines? What's interesting?
No matter what with the Stampeders, and this will be till the end of his career, Bo's shoulder is going to be the story. Dave Dickinson said yesterday that Bo is looking great, seems really happy, seems to be loving his football, but we don't know all the details there. So, look, I genuinely think there are 3 teams who should be considered favorites to win the Grey Cup. I think one of those is the Calgary Stampeders. I really think people missed how good they were coming down the stretch when they started 2-5, still made the playoffs. They were very unlucky to lose that game against the Riders. I think the Riders were very unlucky to lose that game against the Bombers in the West Final. But I think this is a really, really good young Stampeders team. Could maybe use a little bit more depth at some of the Canadian positions. But beyond that, I think there's a lot of optimism, and they don't mind. If CFL's power rankings, which I roll my eyes at intentionally, want to put them as the 5th or 6th best team, so be it. The Stampeders like the team that they have. I like the team that they have. I think it's going to be really, really good.
Winnipeg, Calgary, and who's the 3rd?
Toronto for me. But Riders fans might get mad at me for saying that. I think the Riders could really surprise me. Let's see what they have. I do think they lost some key pieces. Hamilton's got to prove it to me. I do think that some of their losses are going to be hurting, but I'm sorry. I think that this Toronto team needs to be discussed. Look at the talent that they have. How can they not be talked about as a Grey Cup contender?
I've picked a Winnipeg-Toronto Grey Cup.
Fair.
So we'll see.
And I honestly, Winnipeg has to be. They've done it. They deserve to be talked about as the powerhouse that they are. They've done it, so they got to be number 1. My only thing with the Bombers is it just feels a little bit to me like, I hope it doesn't happen, but they had some good injury luck last year. I sort of wonder if, with some of their guys aging, everyone's going to be on the field for the whole season. But they've proven me wrong many times in many different ways. So that's a great Winnipeg team. They got to be your number 1. But
Danny, appreciate the time. Look forward to reading your stuff here this spring, as always.
Thanks, man. It's great to be here.
We'll get him a Rockstar hat of the day, Rockstar of the Day hat next time we see you. Lee Genier in next, live from the Grey Eagle Stage Bar, Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Flame Tech Football Friday continues live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Day breaking here in the foothills. By the way, Canadian folk rock heroes Bare Naked Ladies return to Calgary on August 20th. Known for their iconic, energetic live performances that combine humor with an eclectic mix of folk, pop, rock, and sometimes even freestyle rap. Get ready to have an unforgettable night. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th. Here at the Event Center. And you see the shot from outside as we welcome back in Lee Genier, award-winning sports executive. I haven't been outside yet today. Can you tell him to turn the heat up? It's only plus 7 Celsius?
Yeah.
What is going? You said it's the coldest year on record.
Around the world, yeah. For this time of year. Global warming.
What about it?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Blue Bombers vaccination policy? Probably not.
You know, I would say no, because it's such a contentious issue from where we are.
Yeah, fair. I meant to bring it up. Listen, dude, I just casually mentioned it in a sentence on the show, like Tuesday or something here. You weren't even on the air. And the Blue Bombers have amended their vaccination policy at IG Field. Comments go nuts. Yeah. And I guess all they're saying is you no longer need to be vaccinated to go to games. I think that's what they're saying. You said you don't want to go down that road, and that's fine.
Well, you know what? No, like, we're moved on. Like, say, is good for them.
Yep, okay, good.
Good for them.
That's as far as we're going to go. By the way, we got to mention the contest. This is so awesome. I love Monday mornings, first thing when I open up the text line and I see all the entrants from the weekend. It's so much fun to go back and see what people have entered. Because it's the Bet Regal weekend contest that we do. And seeing Dunnigan's commercial on the break made me think of it. Go to tonight's schedule, Saturday sports schedule, Sunday sports schedule, what have you. Pick the game that you're looking forward to the most and pick the winner. Text us in 902-518-3033. We'll randomly, if you're correct, we'll randomly pick one of those correct entrants and send you out a Bet Regal prize package, okay? So, in the NHL, there's 3, 6, 9, 10, 12 game. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 games tonight.
Whoa.
Maybe you want to pick what round John Mechie goes in the NFL draft. I think we would take that.
Sure.
You can bet on that. 15 games? There's not enough time in the highlights. Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays are home to Houston. Who's going tonight? It's Kikuchi tonight, right, for Tirana? Only one NBA game, Memphis at Minnesota. Can I aptly say with the Raptors out, we don't care?
Yeah.
Okay. And I might as well mention, too, you can bet on CHL games, by the way, at betregal.ca. And if you sign up using the promo code RP22, you'll get 22 welcome dollars. Saskatoon and Moose Jaw tonight, PA at Winnipeg, Brandon at Red Deer, Kamloops at Spokane, Everett at Vancouver, Kelowna at Seattle. It's 5 games there. And the AJHL final begins tonight. Best of 7 for the championship series. Spruce Grove at Brooks. Flames not playing tonight, Lee. I don't assume yet.
There's
they are.
games.
They're Winnipeg. They have to play.
Yeah.
That's our featured game. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. Calgary Flames playing their last game of the regular season at Winnipeg. That's my featured game because I want to see how the Jets are going to go out. And I'm going to pick the Jets to win because it's a meaningless game for the Calgary Flames. That's my game. But people, when I was looking at the text line last week, they were picking Raptors. They were picking F1. You got up Sunday to watch. Yeah. And your boy Max Verstappen won.
Yeah. Red Bull go 1-2.
Strong like bull.
Yeah.
Not a good day for Ferrari.
No, it wasn't. Or AMG for that matter. So I'm an AMG guy just because I drive a Mercedes. So I love it.
2 months ago, I would not even know what the hell you're talking about.
Fine.
But because of Drive to Survive, I'm in.
Yeah.
And when you said you were, I talked to Lee on Saturday. Where was I going? Red Deer. And I called him. So what are you doing? Oh, watching F1. I'm like, on Netflix? And you're like, no, there was something qualifying going on or something?
Yeah, there was a sprint race on Saturday and then F1 Grand Prix on Sunday.
Same cars or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference?
They just do a sprint fastest laps on the Saturday, right? And they don't do this every Saturday. And then Sunday is a full race, right? So I think it was 63 laps, 63 laps in just outside of Rome.
They're reading off the license plate of a black Mercedes in the. Is that you?
No.
Are you illegally parked?
I'm silver.
Yeah, you're silver Mercedes. Gotcha. Craig in Calgary says, my Phoenix Suns are still alive, so I still care. Darren in Utah, the outside shot. Sorry, Darren in Utah. Well, he says, the outside shots in Calgary make me feel at home. Looks so much like Utah at the present time. Never gets old, man, does it?
Man, no.
It never gets old here.
Like the landscape's like right behind you.
I know. I love it here so much. Randy from the Peg says the Jets' last game is Sunday. Connor needs 4 goals in 2 games. Sure. Is he going to play defense over the last 2 games? That's what I'd like to know. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, I love that the Oilers jersey is in front of the Flames one. Right, your other shoulder. Over your left shoulder. Yeah, your left one. That's going to be fun over the spring here, to where who's on top of the mountain here.
Man, I am looking forward to that.
The playoffs?
Oh God, yeah. I want the Flames and Oilers to meet, and this is going to be electric.
It would have to be round 2.
Yep.
So we got to wait for that.
Yep.
I believe you can bet at Bet Regal on Canadian Premier League.
Yes, you can.
You can, can't you? You can bet at Bet Regal on Canadian. I'm going to my first game Sunday.
We're sitting on the bench with Tommy. I told him that.
What'd he say?
He didn't respond.
I think he'd do it. Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that aims to please.
Come on down.
Yeah, at Coast Stadium.
Yes.
From what I understand, there's not that many tickets left.
No, they usually sell it. It's home opener, so.
You see how my mind's blown?
Soccer?
The CFL isn't the biggest thing in the world? What? I'm just saying.
Hey, man, times change.
That's what I'm saying. Overtime is next. We're not going anywhere, but we are taking a pause, and when we come back, one final segment for the week. Get your picks in, get your comments in the chat, 902-518-3033. However you want to reach us, we're here waiting at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on YouTube Live, and, of course, 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
In the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
One final time, it is overtime, brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the National Hockey League. And it's interesting, the texts are already coming in for the Bet Regal contest for your game of the weekend, but you got 3 days to enter. And they will be time-stamped, so don't get funny and text after the game and act like you, oh, what a shock. I didn't even mention the NLL. Ryan in Saratoga, New York's watching. He says, I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll be at MVP Arena in Albany covering the Firewolves. It's a win and you're in game against the New York Riptide. Going to be a good one. Bill in Assiniboia says many teams sitting out aces tonight and likely many remaining league games. Let the playoffs begin. Maybe, I guess you wouldn't say they're tanking, because they're playoff teams resting their top guys, so that's not tanking.
Standard.
But yeah, but if I was a fan, I wouldn't be buying a ticket for a game that I'm not seeing the best.
Sure.
Just saying.
Yeah. But you're getting ready to go in a battle, playoffs, so you're not going to go out and play some guy 25 minutes.
Probably not, but you get that the fans want to see the stars.
Yeah, but do you start Markstrom tonight in Winnipeg?
I'm sure they won't. Did Vladar play last night? I can't remember. We were watching the basketball game, and it was on another screen. Did Vladar? I could look it up very quickly here. He didn't? No, Sheldon says no, Vladar did not play last night. Do you play Markstrom? No, I don't think you do.
No.
But I'll tell you what, Peter Labardius here the other day sat in that chair, as you know, and he, oh man, did he rip the fans. He's like, I don't even want to hear any talk about Markstrom being played too much. He goes, all I've heard in this city since Kiprasov retired was you don't have a goalie. You go and pay $6 million a year for 7 years to get one, and now you play him too much? That's just fans, though, right?
They're always going to have an opinion. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But, Daryl Sutter's going to be looking at it wholly different.
Was checking the stats last night for the Flames at the Wild. I mean, I guess this isn't actually a good thing for the NHL because nobody really cares. The Florida Panthers clinched the President's Trophy last night, and I had it written down here to talk about. I wouldn't even want the President's Trophy.
Oh.
Nobody remembers who won the President's Trophy. Correct? Let me go to the big board and see who has won it over the years. Like you don't get rings for it.
You get money for it.
How much?
Well, I remember it used to be $200,000. I don't know what it is now. Maybe somebody can help us out. It used to be $200,000.
Well, the owners would be happy, but what does that have to do with? Okay, okay. Here's the list of 20. This is gonna knock your socks off, brother. This is not a star-studded list of President's Trophy winners in the last decade. The Colorado Avalanche in 2021. What'd they win? Oh, $200,000. That's lunch money for the owners. I guess in 2020 they didn't award it because they didn't finish the season. 2019, the Tampa Bay Lightning, so that does mean something. 2018, the Nashville Predators. 2017, the Washington Capitals. They didn't win the Stanley Cup, I don't think, that year. But 2016, Washington won the President and won the Stanley Cup because they won it on the road in Vegas in Game 6. Legendary story of Ovi taking the cup down the Vegas Strip. 2015, the New York Rangers. 2014, the Boston Bruins. 2013, the Chicago Blackhawks. 2012 and 2011, the Vancouver Canucks. I'm starting to think the President's Trophy is a jinx.
Oh, yeah. Big target on your back.
Pressure?
Oh, yeah. How can you finish first in a 32-team league? And
my mind's racing here. Again, the Florida Panthers. It was in my sports update that I never read. The Florida Panthers clinched the President's Trophy, and I'm almost thinking that is a kiss of death for the Florida Panthers that you would win it.
Well, maybe. Maybe you'll be their good luck charm as you're going down there.
Well, let's say that in the last 10 years of President's Trophy winners, 3 have won the Stanley Cup. Something like that. That's not a very good number. That's like home teams in the West and East Final in the CFL. It used to be the road team won more. Now I think it's about 50-50.
Yeah. Playoffs is completely different beast, as you know. It's all about heart and drive and I've seen, I'll go back, 2004. Flames backed into a playoff spot. Played with as much heart. Should have won a Stanley Cup, as you know.
Well, there are those predicting a rematch of the 2004 Stanley Cup this year. Flames and Tampa Bay Lightning. Based on my own locale and environs, I'd just love a Florida-Calgary Stanley Cup final.
Really?
That would work just tickety-boo for me. Just tickety-boo.
We'll have the jet going back and forth.
Yeah, perfect, right? Ryan says that's $200,000 split between players and personnel. So, yeah, lunch. Add it up. 25 players, all the staff. To those guys, it's chump change. Doesn't mean diddly. How about the Toronto Blue Jays? Left-hander Yusei Kikuchi gets the start for Toronto as the Blue Jays open a 3-game series with the Houston Astros at Rogers Center tonight. Toronto sits second in the American League East at 13-7. The Jays have won 7 of their last 9. 13-7, and you're not even leading the division. That blasted American League East. You never get a break in the American League East.
It's a tough division, man.
It's a meat grinder. Yeah. What's the toughest division? The American League East or the AFC West? They're both tough. Yeah. Poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center as we get set to go off the air. Will you be following the NFL draft this weekend? Initially, it started out like 65% were saying yes, and now it's over 70% saying no. And it's funny, Danny came in here. He's like, that's me with the NFL draft. I was watching Raptors last night. You spent all night studying the NFL draft round 1 because you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
And we barely talked about it. So I just feel like it's losing its sizzle here this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on right now. So it was about the party, being there. Let's see what the guys do when they actually start playing.
Lee, you have a great weekend.
You have a fantastic weekend.
I plan on it. We'll see you Monday.
No, I'm going to see you Sunday because we're going to the
Cavalry FC home opener against Pacific FC. Thank God for you. My personal calendar. Lee, the Rolodex. We'll see the rest of you people Monday at noon Eastern on Game Plus TV and here on YouTube Live.
I felt sorry for Mike Riley last night. Walking off the field, he looked so disappointed.
The show's over, Lynch.
And hurt. Oh, is it? Okay.
Stop talking football.